So I'm just gonna ask you some questions about your life to start, just like some basic things. So, where and when were you born? Each of you.
I was born in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I was born during World War II,
Wow.
August 8th, 1944. And the day I was born, my dad was supposed to go in the Army. He was drafted
Really?
to go into World War II. So he got to stay home for 3 months. My mother had a 1 year old and a 2 year old, and then
Oh
I was
my
born.
goodness.
So that's my
That
story.
that is crazy. How about you, Grandpa?
Yeah, I was born in Durango, Colorado in 1944.
Okay. So, well, Grandma kind of already touched on this, but what important events do you remember from your childhood and like young teenage years?
For,
Like either that
for
happened to you or like in the world, all of the above.
well, there's three things that are kind of unique. First of all, we didn't have running water. We had to haul our water from the river,
Oh my goodness.
and we didn't have indoor plumbing for a toilet or anything, so we had an outhouse.
Wow.
And
Can't even imagine.
when I was very little, our home burned down, and my birth certificate is actually burned around the edges.
Oh my goodness. That is crazy. How about you, Grandma?
I was a city girl, so I had indoor plumbing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I remember, and I don't recall exactly how old I was, but I was probably around, uh, well, I was probably pretty little, I guess. I was trying to remember where I lived when we got a TV. But that was a big deal to be able to have a TV, and I think I was probably like, I want to say 6 or 7, something like that.
Wow.
And it was, of course, just black and white, but we thought
Mm-hmm.
we had the world. That was
Yeah,
a
I
great,
bet.
great thing.
That is that is really crazy to think about. And like the next question kind of leads into that, like so you kind of already have touched on that, but like how is was life different when you were younger and how has it changed? Like how have you seen the world and like your way of living progress and change over the years?
Well, I grew up in Salt Lake, and where I lived is now considered inner city, but in those
Mm-hmm.
days it wasn't. It was just, you just felt safe to do what you wanted. We rode the
Mm-hmm.
bus, we'd catch the bus and go downtown, just, young kids,
Yeah.
and just be able to go downtown and not be afraid of somebody hurting us or getting us or whatever. We'd ride down there and, shop or just
Yeah.
do whatever and then ride the bus back home. And we were fun doing that.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Today you have to be more careful about
Yeah.
things like that.
There's so much more, in my estimation, evil in the world, I guess, or
Mm-hmm.
more prevalent or
Yeah,
whatever.
for sure.
So.
What do you think, Grandpa?
Okay. We didn't have a TV until I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
So I went from no running water, no indoor plumbing. I never went to a movie until I was a teenager, to what we have today with all the technology.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. Growing up, we didn't even have a phone until we moved from Colorado to Utah.
Oh my goodness.
And then we had a party line.
Uh-huh.
So you had several people in an area that was on the same phone line.
So you could get calls like for a completely different family or
Yes, kind of.
No, you would either, I can't remember if it would ring so many times, like da 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 would be
your
yours.
house.
Yeah.
Oh.
But you could pick up the phone to use it, and someone else would be on there using that particular line. We
Oh.
had that as well.
Yeah. So do you think like the changes you have seen are do you think they're mostly positive or mostly negative? Would you say?
I think both. I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of, it's an amazing world that we live in now.
Mm-hmm.
Technology is just unbelievable compared to what we had. It's unheard of.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of, along with the good comes a lot of bad.
Yeah,
Because
that's
there's
true.
always somebody wanting to get in a bad aspect of everything.
And misuse
Yeah,
what we have.
misuse the technology,
Yeah.
misuse whatever, you know, take advantage of someone else, more so than I think it ever was before.
Yeah, definitely. And I think with like social media and like texting, and it's a lot easier to say things that you wouldn't ever say to somebody
Yeah,
face to face,
exactly.
stuff like that. What do you think?
Pretty much the same.
Yeah.
It's been really positive and really good.
Mhm.
Our life has been very good, and we're pretty well shielded by choice from a lot of bad things.
Yeah, for sure. So this is tying it back to kind of America. So how do you remember America from when you were younger, and how is it different now?
Okay. World War II, I feel like really made the country proud and brought us together as a proud country, which before that I don't know. I know there was the Great Depression and all that, which I didn't live through, but each of these triumphs in our country seems to,
Unite us.
or bad things sometimes bring us together to rally. And I think, you know, at that time it was a really good thing. And then it seems like every so many years we have these wars that either brings us down or up, I guess. But
Yeah.
there was the Korean War in the 50s, and then in the 60s, the late 60s, 70s was the Vietnam War, and that was, I think that was a downer for our country. It was, especially for the military. It was not, they had to go, and it wasn't, they didn't return as proud soldiers.
Yeah.
And I feel like right now we're in a real down slump. I think our country isn't proud of what we're doing. I personally feel like the government is trying to take away our rights and our agency, and I feel bad for our children and grandchildren because they're going to not have a good country unless things turn around.
Yeah. And also about that, like, where do you think we're headed, and what do you think about that?
Well, I think we're headed in a very dangerous direction with the debt that we're in as a country, with the free giveaway programs. There's so many people that are depending on the government taking care of it, and I think that's really a bad thing for our country. We should take care of ourselves.
Do you think there's more of that attitude now than in years past?
I do.
There's more of that than there's ever been before, and it's actually a majority of our country.
Yeah.
And that's scary because we live in a majority-controlled country.
Yeah, for sure. And what would you consider, like, how would you define the American dream, like, that has been in our country for so long, like the go to America and it's the land of the free and make it big for yourself, and how would you personally define that?
I feel like if you are willing to work and probably go to school first to become what you want, that you can live the American dream, which is to have your own home and a good job and be able to take care of yourself, which isn't the case anymore. People can't find work. They can't, a lot of them don't even try. They just want handouts. And I think the American dream is to be self-sufficient, to be able to grow and prosper and take care of yourself and your family, and have the free agency to worship how you feel, and to be able to play how you feel and what you like and what you want to do, instead of having people tell you
What to do.
and dominate your life.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's probably one of the best definitions I've ever heard. Do you think, would you consider that you've fulfilled the American dream? You've lived it?
Yes, we have. We've been able to do what we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a lot of help from family, but and one of the things that I believe is going to happen, I believe our Constitution is going to be saved.
Mm-hmm.
It is such an important document that I believe that it will outlast our country.
Yeah.
And I believe those freedoms will be protected, and we'll be able to get back to where we were.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Do you have any last things you'd like to add? Anything?
I just think we're blessed to be here.
Yeah.
When you see what other countries have, and what a much better way of life we have here, we're very fortunate to
Yes,
live where
we are.
do and be able to have the things that we have, and do the things that we like to do and want to do.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for your time and your awesome answers.